Welcome to Master's Mandate from Kung Fu Connection here in Miami, Florida. Today we're going to discuss different aspects of stance work. Now, in Chinese martial arts, stance work is of the utmost importance. As a matter of fact, stance work is the primary source of strength building in Chinese martial arts. That's why we all practice low stances and we all go home and suffer soreness for the next 2 days. But if you're diligent and you practice and you stretch on a regular basis, that soreness will disappear. There are several different aspects to stance work. The first one is considered to be foundational, which means the foundation of everything you do with your upper body, with your punching, with your kicking, so on and so forth, is rooted directly in your stance work. It is the stance work that gives you the leg strength to have that type of side kick that breaks somebody's ribs. Alignment is very important because this helps to determine your pathway forward and backward towards the opponent, and at the same time, the proper alignment in a stance can guard you from being struck by the opponent. Beyond alignment, we also have application, which is a different aspect of stance work. Application teaches you how to use your stances for more than just standing, as in, for example, throws, takedowns, grappling applications, so on and so forth. Now here we have an example of the horse stance we call ma bo. In this particular case, it's referred to as sei ping ma, which means four-corner horse. Notice that the feet are pointing forward, the knees are pulled back, the hip is tucked, the back is straight. Okay, very important to have that alignment between the knees and the feet so as not to cause damage to the knee. In this particular case, the majority of the weight is being expressed down into the foot, not into the knees. In this particular stance, we call this gumbo, which means front stance. One very important aspect of this in the gumbo, referred to as the bow and arrow stance, we have about 70% of the body's weight in the front leg and 30% in the rear leg. In relation to alignment and stepping forward and backward towards or away from the opponent, here is an example going from the front stance, gumbo, into the rear weighted stance of the lao ma bo, stepping back, stepping forward. Notice that the path of stepping, the path of walking is straight. Step back, step forward. If the alignment was incorrect, this would happen. When you're rushed by an opponent, you would go and trip over yourself. So the alignment is essential for proper power, expression of all of the techniques, and also for attack and defense. Now, relative to application, stance work can be used to lock or throw the opponent down. For example, in this particular case, I'm going to use my front stance from the horse stance, shifting to the gumbo, to the front stance, to knock my opponent down, to disable the structure of his stance, thus weakening his position. Another example of application relative to stance is when we use stances, which this is commonly seen in the throwing arts of jiu-jitsu and judo and aikido, so on and so forth and everything. But if you look at the root of all of their techniques, you're going to see that they're all founded in traditional stance work. For example, when we spoke about the gumbo, the front stance, with an opponent, I can utilize that stance to take him down. What am I using? The stance. It's the same thing. And finally, relative to the guard, the stance also works as a guard. In this situation, you can see that the knee and the toe are slightly flared in, as in most Southern styles. And the purpose of this would be what? Obviously, to protect the groin from attack, from a frontal attack. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your practice. Keep up the good work.